We're talking Real Housewives of Potomac, and the ladies head on their trip to Bermuda. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin. You're tuning into the...
Yeah, what's your little hand? Isn't that how the
little cheeky girl?
Yep, isn't that what they do? Hey, get away from me now. What up, AfterBuzz? It's your boy, Jesse Janedy, here in studio for the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 2 episode, I think we 10. Welcome to the Bermuda Triangle. I'm back in studio with my lovely co-host. We got, you know what I'm saying, Miss Tiffany in the building.
What up?
Richie in the building.
Yo, what up?
Yo.
Yeah.
For anyone listening out there, just a little PSA announcement for you guys. We are going to make some jokes, you know what I'm saying? So if you're offended by harsh language, then one, you probably shouldn't be watching Real Housewives of Potomac. And probably not creating fake Twitter accounts either. You can always come on the show and talk about it if you would like. You know what I'm saying? Invitations always open. The emails have been sent.
You can also watch.
You just gotta respond.
Live tweet.
And you could get in the live chat room.
Yeah. Let's talk now.
From your real Twitter. I would just really appreciate that. So I'm not sure if that is one of the lovely ladies or not. But hey, girl, I see you.
Hopefully you ain't got that kind of time.
Oh, I'm just like talking about. I watched listened to the show with my granddaughter. And it was vile language, and I was like,
Oh, no.
do you know how many times they say the word bitch in the show?
And do you know that your granddaughter probably says it too?
And you might be a bad grandmother.
Exactly.
Maybe you shouldn't watch.
Now that was an insult.
No, but you
Real Housewives. You shouldn't watch this type of content with your granddaughter, maybe PBS or something, you know what I'm saying? But we thank you either or for listening, and hopefully you're listening again this week.
And you'll show yourself.
Yes. Share yourself. Show yourself. Speaking of cats and the tea, there was too much of it. The girls prep for Bermuda. Giselle, we see her with Grandma Joanne, who's going to end up... I love her, too. She's just such a, like...
I don't know. I just like her.
She is. She's just
Good
like...
spirit.
Like, I feel like she makes bomb, like, shortbread cookies or something. Like, she looked like she can
Homemade.
bake. Yeah, like she...
You know you can't talk about food with us right
I
here.
know.
Come on
You
now.
know, we get real
It's going to go
hungry.
downhill real quick.
Giselle doesn't want to tell Grandma that she want to break up with Kevin. She can't mentally get him out of the friend zone. Which I'm like, after that many years, I just think Giselle's that type of woman that just, I don't think she really wants to be in a relationship. I don't think
so
she'll
either.
ever trust somebody to really get there. It'll take another, 6 years.
She definitely seems like a woman that's hard to love. Like, you got to shake her a little bit.
She did make reference to that.
Did she?
Yeah.
See, I can see that. And then Kevin is so smooth. Like, he's probably not taking control like she needs.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Well, what's it called? So she says to the girls, I have some rules. She said you have to work on your book reports. You need to call me 2 times a day and brush your teeth. Did your parents ever have any crazy rules, like when they left you or anything like that? Like twice a day is a lot. I'd be like,
What, to call twice a day?
yeah.
I mean,
We were really hands off in my family.
I know. Call.
Yeah, like.
What? I'll see you when you get back.
Right. Holla.
If my mother did not speak one time in the day, we was gonna get 50 million texts, calls, emails. Grandma was gonna get hit up. We see Robin with her kids Corey and Carter.
Oh my God.
Corey is so bad. I'm just
They both are terrors.
But Corey be talking to his mother crazy.
Did she just be giggling?
Yeah.
I
He said her hairline.
think if I was her, I might have jumped across that counter
Snatched them
put
off
him on the
thing.
floor. That's just me, though.
He said, "Get your hairline fixed. Your wig is ugly."
Okay, but how about they called out Juan? She's like, your dad's playing golf. My dad ain't playing no golf. Like, how did they know?
No.
Come on now. Everybody knows. I knew that
Daddy's
when she
with
said
Auntie
it.
Linda. Allegedly. What's it called? So whatever. She goes. Robin says that she feels like she's not going to tell Juan about going on a date because she's going to be protecting him in doing that.
In my head, I was like, he don't care.
She's delusional.
Yeah.
Like everyone sees it but her. Everyone, even the kids see it.
Unless there is something that he is whispering in her ear
Which
when they
don't
may
get twisted.
be intimate.
Don't get it twisted.
You know
Dudes
what I'm saying?
be doing stuff like that.
I feel like it's that type of
I think
situation.
he
might
could
be
be.
true.
You know what I'm saying? He could be rubbing her feet at the right time,
Exactly.
like sending a little. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because he know he need his meal, and he
And a
know he need
house.
them boys taken care of.
and
Exactly.
a roof.
But does she work or is this her only check? This housewife.
Remember,
paycheck?
she did something. She said
thought
she
she
did
did
something
PR.
PR. But
That's
then
what I
the
thought.
only thing
that's
we
like
ever
the
seen.
modern day entrepreneur, which means I do things. I pass out business cards. I go to networking events.
But you
Ooh,
ain't.
you
You
just-
know, for real, everyone the goddamn PR.
Everyone's
like,
in
all
PR.
right.
Everyone's an entrepreneur.
You know what I'm saying? All right.
I ain't gonna say nothing. I used to work in PR, but I ain't gonna say nothing.
I was an entrepreneur.
But they paid me well.
Yeah. I don't think Robin worked for that company.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, I got to hook up Robin. They in Maryland.
There you go. All right, so then we get over to Karen and Ray, who's laughing at Charisse, who was wanting to be a co-host. Miss Huger, typically love ya. This episode though.
She got the Phaedra edit this episode,
Oops,
boy.
so did. And that's what she wrote on Twitter. She said, looks can be deceiving, smoke and mirrors. Like
Ain't no smoke and mirrors. If you said it, you said it.
Right,
We heard your
yeah.
voice.
Cattiness is cattiness. We get to Bermuda. It says Huger and Guess.
You guys, this has got to be the most
Yep.
petty argument on all the Housewives franchise.
Well, the one with Sheree and
That was
Kenya.
I think this is equal
I
petty.
think it's equal. Yeah, for sure.
I feel like it's equal petty. I
'Cause,
mean,
like-
it's
Oh,
both
yeah,
things that no one cares about.
I don't really watch the other shows. Oh no, actually no. Another petty one is that
The teddy bear thing.
the teddy bear shit from Beverly Hills.
Although that
Housewives.
was like one of my favorite things ever.
No, I know it was great with the tear rolling down. It was
Oh my
like,
God.
was that slow motion? That wasn't slow motion.
At least we got a tear out of that, some emotion. This right here is just kind of weird. Like, this is some nursing home type. See now, I forgot my cheese.
Yeah,
type.
but it's like one hit after another. So it's like, all right, Karen does that, and then all of a sudden they're on the bus and like awkward that Charisse is like, yeah, you know, our anniversary was last night, so I texted him at midnight, happy, and why?
Oh my God.
Why?
She's.
I'm trying to rationalize
Like
why
in her, no,
she did
I
that.
know why.
You
In
know
her
what I'm saying?
mind, she was
Like,
drinking, and she was like,
in the champagne
asshole.
room.
I know he's not even gonna respond to me.
Was
And you
she
still-
trying
and I
to
mean,
be
'cause-
cute,
yeah.
or was she trying to get a response?
But
I feel like it was probably both.
Because she was
she definitely
hoping
wanted
that
to
he
respond.
How did
reached
you
out.
send a text message and you later thought about it? You were like, why I do that? Because I knew it was.
no, that's
you
exactly
knew
what
it
is.
wasn't gonna
Yeah,
be anything
I've been petty
productive.
like that before. It's like, fuck you. I'm
I
gonna
did
let
it
you.
yesterday.
I'm gonna let you know.
When I was drinking.
Because
Usually,
you,
that's why I said she had a champagne in her hand.
why though? What's the motivation?
There's no
There
motivation
isn't.
for it.
It's just like you're probably having a great day. Now I'm gonna fuck it up. So now you're gonna think about me. And even if you aren't thinking about me, just the idea of Charisse.
I
You've
think
never done that before?
No, I've never
Are you
done
At
that.
serious?
midnight, he laying in bed with another woman, and it's happy anniversary.
No.
The life that you've destroyed.
I've done it just because I felt like I had something else to say. And
Yeah.
I didn't say it earlier.
feel
I'm
like she-
fire him off.
I think that she was like double time hurt because he didn't reach out to her. So
Of course, but I don't think it's that was something.
I don't think anybody in this picture thought that he was going to send her a shout out
And guaranteed-
on Instagram.
he-
Happy anniversary, boo. Tag one Charisse.
I think that she might be
No.
the only one that thought that was gonna happen.
I don't think she
No,
thought
she
that.
didn't.
I think she was in her champagne room, chilling. The kids are going to bed. She had already packed. I'm going on this trip. I'm drunk.
She like, I remember in 1993 when Eddie took me to Bermuda, and that was the last time we was ever in love.
She don't need him.
No. So we get to the rooms, and we're in Ashley's room, and then we're in Giselle's room, and we see that Karen gets some gift baskets for the ladies.
A gift
And-
basket is a nice touch.
It was a nice touch.
It is.
You know, who did that? The most housewives, they always
Yeah.
set something up.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny because then all of a sudden the girls are so concerned with Charisse not being a host, and obviously Ashley needs to bring it up and whatnot. And we go see that Charisse upgraded her room.
Ballin'.
What did she say? As a gift to herself for her birthday, a happy anniversary present, and a fuck you, Karen.
Yeah.
All in
And a happy
All of
birthday.
it.
A birthday, anniversary, and a fuck you, Karen.
But why?
That's
is
what
so
she said, not
stuck
us here
this
on the Vial after.
anniversary? I don't get this anniversary
But,
nonsense. Like,
I mean,
why are you
come
still
on
talking
now.
about it? Why are you treating yourself to an anniversary gift? And why are you expecting your ex-husband to reach out to you? She's crazy.
Okay, she's crazy, but then at the same time, here we go, devil's advocate to play into Charisse. I mean, here's a woman who she dedicated like almost half of her life. You know what I'm saying? She was with him for almost 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's when you feel like you have a future with somebody and you are settled on that, it's like...
And 2 kids.
What happened? You know what I'm saying?
And okay, you have to understand. She was in here last season, and I think she's a very smart woman. And so it's not that I don't think she doesn't understand it, but
I think she's just
you
going
can't
through it.
control emotion. Like you
Emotions.
cannot
Yeah.
control emotions.
Raw emotions.
Exactly, and I think that we're getting that. And imagine being on camera,
Yeah.
having to go through this, and then you have to keep up with these other women whose lives are, you know what I mean? Like they aren't going through
They're
this right now.
unraveling
Yeah.
as well.
Oh my
though.
God.
I think everyone's unraveling a little bit.
Yo, like, yeah, Potomac.
Five Houses Monique's life is not unraveling in
Well,
any way,
okay.
shape, or form.
Monique is the only one.
Except for Monique.
Unless
but
Chris
she's
and
new.
Giselle end up hooking up over, yeah, I'm just saying, on season 4,
Ooh,
spinoff.
Big Alabama. Holla.
All right, yes for Charisse and her little townhouse. So we see Karen setting up dinner outside. This has to have the Huger name on it. Girl, like what?
Huger is not equivalent to Vanderpump. Let's just put it out there at this point in time. So she needs to stop with this whole
Right.
grand dom, because if anybody deserves that title at this point, it should probably be Charisse, who can actually pay for an upgraded room for herself and a family. She could have. Everybody could have stayed
Like,
in Charisse's room
unfortunately,
That's true.
last season, Karen, you had it. This season, Charisse is the grand dame.
by herself.
Now, next season, if Eddie does pull that money away, or if, you know, I mean, there's like a
Then it'll
budget
be
involved,
Monique.
then it's good money because she's been here for a season now.
And we're talking grand dame by monetary standards. Because
Sort of, but like the grandness of it, like everything you do has to be like the scale, the big, like how.
I feel like it's
Like a
and
party.
it's done without an announcement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I could do this just because I mean I'm gonna do it. And hey girls, come over and see my room.
I'm gonna say that's Monique.
Yeah, I do too, honestly. Like,
Right?
because I think it's so naturally accessible to her. It's so easily accessible.
I just don't think because she's a rookie she can
Right.
take
No,
that
yeah, she
title
can't.
yet.
That's
You know
why
what I'm
next
saying?
season.
She doesn't have that grandeur.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not
Give
yet.
her a couple of seasons though.
Yeah.
She needs to age a little bit.
She
too.
could be running
She's
that.
a little young, wet
No.
behind the ears.
The socks on the hotel staff here, I was just like, no, sorry.
Those shoes, that's what I was getting into.
But like, first of all, I have a question about Charisse because I feel like her spending is gonna catch up to her. Like a champagne room, and she's on air bragging about spending this man's money.
I know when she said that I cringed. I was like,
Like-
oh girl, no, you want to keep getting the checks.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, stop.
Like that's not gonna go over well for you in a courtroom when a
But
judge.
that's why I love Potomac right now because it's so
Oh,
raw.
a lot
Like,
of this isn't gonna go well in the courtroom for her.
Right? The fireman.
woo! Giselle doesn't like Monique's crass language. Kind of like what you're saying. She was saying like that Monique isn't really, you know, pulled up, uptight, and I'm just kind of like, Giselle, girl, what?
They just don't like each other. At this point, it's just it don't even matter what
Right.
the other person
Vanessa
does,
Williams
right
was
or
checking
wrong.
your pink hot pants last night, girl. She didn't think that was real crass on the field.
Pink hot
I love
pants.
Giselle, so I'm not gonna
I
say
did too. The
nothing.
top was everything, though. I'll give
Okay,
her
but
that.
no. Let's not. Let's
What,
not
you
say
didn't
that
like
that's
Okay.
okay. That long sleeve lace shirt with them pink pants.
No,
She looks like Project Barbie.
a Bratz
A
doll.
Brad doll.
But to be fair, they were eating on the grass in the backyard. I mean, they weren't at like.
No, that sunset was everything.
It
I mean,
sure was.
it wasn't the trip that the other housewives would be going on.
Okay,
Right.
like let's
It was
be
definitely more
clear.
resort.
It was Bermuda.
Which I'd be right up in Bermuda like, hey. But that's no way. What does it say? All right, let's read some people from the chat room. Terrell Richardson says Charisse upgraded the house, sent her daughter to Tahiti, and throws lavish parties. Oh, gorgeous
I mean,
Godzilla, you
yeah.
got retracted. Sorry. All right, so we see the Gone-Bay dancers that Karen hooked them up
Nice.
with. And then at dinner, she made a comment about the fan, how she wanted a fan outside, and that's it. All took the
Charisse.
cake from there.
Well, if I had done it.
She took her. I mean, she needed an upgrade. Like, how you gonna put these girls in these pedestrian rooms, Karen? Like, give them at least a fan.
I thought we were on a Carnival cruise when we first went in. I'm like,
Do we have bunk beds in here too?
oh, right. Well, I mean, I'll give her. It wasn't like last season, whatever they went in that time. That was crazy. Karen is really upset. Well, Monique brings up the gift baskets and was just confused as to why both names weren't on it. Karen was really upset. What do you guys think about that? So, like,
Curious too.
what?
Is this really a big deal? Like, is this stuff that people talk about in real life?
I think it's weird that Monique brought it up. I think that
They
like
all have at this point.
no,
right?
I know, but it's like I go through both things. It's kind of like, all right, Karen's like older, and like this is like something that like it's like a thing. You know what I mean? Sharice, if you wanted to do something, like obviously Sharice didn't think about doing a basket in anyone's room if she didn't bring it up. You know what I mean? This is something Karen did. So I'm like, I can understand Sharice being like about it, especially when she was like, on the day I planned something, that you gotta have these motherfuckers on a Japanese sailboat, like.
So this is a valid argument, you're saying?
No,
I think if I'm hearing you correctly, what you might be saying is that Sharice should have brought it up.
Which she did.
100% Sharice should have brought it up. Instead of Monique, and it should have happened before the thing. It should have happened as soon as she saw Huger and Guess, and then she saw the basket. She should have said, when she was with Ashley, you know what, ladies? I'll be right back. If you had that serious of a problem with it. Hey, Karen, like, are we good? Like, because I thought we were doing this together. Are we still doing my boat thing tomorrow? Because I thought we was doing this together, and it says Huger and Guess. It says, from Karen Huger. But obviously that's, like, real life situation, and, like, they don't really ever do that in Housewife.
Right.
No, it has to be passive aggressive.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's just like, Karen, this is not the lighting for you, girl.
No.
Sorry. And Sharice is holding her head up, and I think Sharice looked... She let everyone else speak for her, too. And I don't know. I'm kind of like, I was here for it. I wasn't mad at it.
I guess it just seems like there's so much that wasn't said. Like, I don't, like, did they fight? Like, did they talk about this? Or was it that one time at the restaurant?
I
that
think,
was it?
yep, I think it was swept under that.
Yeah, it was they got together at the restaurant, I feel like, and then they
And
had
then
a
they showed
further
up?
discussion about it at Karen's house.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking prior to the
I'm
trip.
just trying to figure out how it all went wrong. How is Sharice still in the dark about where she stood when it comes to trip planning? How is
I don't
this
even
still
think
a
it was
problem?
that she was in the dark at that point. I think it was that the rest of the ladies were in the dark
They
because
were confused.
if Ashley got an invite from Sharice, if Monique got an invite from Sharice, and now everything says Karen, I think they are the ones who are confused.
But that
Right.
happens on every housewife show. You'll hear Nene telling the girls like, "Oh, you know, did you hear about this trip or to Bermuda?" And then you got Kenya telling the other girl. Like, they usually separate
Right.
the two people telling. I just thought that it's just so over dramatic. It's
About who's hosting.
I mean, and let's be real. And neither one of them paid for the trip for the entire crew.
Thank
Exactly.
you.
So at the end of the day,
At
it's
the end
like
of the day.
all you're doing is putting your name on a dinner. I could have called and made reservations for y'all.
And
Pretty much.
Okay. And then we're gonna get to this. This is then she says, "I fired Sharice." Why are we using the word fired? Like, then your next sentence says, "I'm above all of this." No, you're not. You're not. You're
That
literally.
is a way to get out of this situation.
You're playing Tea Party right now. You're playing shady with them. Like, you're playing. If you're above this, well, girl, you below deck, Mediterranean girl. Okay, but below deck, Atlantic, because that's where the Bermuda is. Okay.
I liked her saying she was above it because you are. It's a petty argument. Like, let's move on already. We're in paradise. Why are we still talking about whose name is on a gift basket?
Because why are we talking about it? Is because it's like, really, the girls are looking at Karen like, "Oh, girl, that's so petty. Like, you wanted Sharice to help you, then she didn't want her to help you, and now you want everything to be like, I did this. No, Bravo did this. It should say, thank you, Andy Cohen." This is beneath me. This is our trip, so roll up off my basket. That was a great line, though. I did love that.
I like when Karen's little hood
Yeah, I
comes
do.
out. It peeks out every now and then, girl.
It was out all
All
episode.
the way.
Oh, especially at that end, honey. We get Giselle bringing up that she wasn't invited to Monique's daughter's party, and Monique got upset with her when she was like, "I wouldn't have come anyways," but that's real. Sorry, Monique, she wouldn't have. Karen then gets even more awkward, and because the girls are like, "All right, let's put the spotlight on you, Karen. What's up with the house?" "Well, I believe I told everyone about the cash offer from Japan. Girl, if you
I
did
wouldn't-
deflecting,
I would never have said that. Well, the house sold, and right now we're just trying to determine where we're gonna go next.
Why is she so extra? Like, what's the problem? What's she hiding?
what Sheree said, the broke Bill Gates, honey. I don't think that the money.
Ooh, nickname alert.
The broke and black. Broke black Bill Gates. Triple B.
I think that they may not be in the situation. You know what I mean? That one kid is in college. Maybe I'm assuming that their son is handling his own bills and whatnot. But you never know. And I mean, they live a certain lifestyle. You know,
That stuff catches up to you, and they're getting older. Probably time
does
to retire too.
Yeah, and I'm sure he is retired. And I wonder if he's still working. So it's kind of like
Right.
now that money is right there. And you know, property ain't like it used to be anymore.
Sure
I mean, I don't know what it's like over there, but I can imagine that's why he had to
expensive.
head on over to the
It's
next
expensive
town.
there. But my thing is, like, on these types of shows, like, you can't really pretend to live a certain type of lifestyle because at a certain point it is going to show.
Could you imagine, like, where are you moving? She's like, well, actually, Robin, I'm moving right on next week.
I think you can though. You can totally fake it. You can fake a
I think-
posh life.
Have you ever
can
seen
fake
Wags?
it if production is helping you
If
fake
they're
it.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like if that's the case, then yes, like we discussed last week, when they put people in these little apartment homes when they filming
Wags.
some of those shows.
Right.
But I feel like for these types of shows, like, now listen, if they gonna broadcast what you did when the door was closed and the camera was down, girl, they gonna show the cracks in your house.
I'm creating a new show. I'm gonna call it The Broke Housewives. I'm gonna do them in all different cities
I'm
too.
just saying,
it's gonna,
like,
be, it's
they
gonna be a
coulda-
YouTube show.
You know.
I will say this,
Pretty
they
good.
will
Catch it on
get the
Vinny.
real deal.
It'll be some good
I
drama.
think certain shows will get the real deal.
Yeah, the producers won't have to sneak to record you. They'll have some good drama.
Yeah.
I
But-
feel
But
like
you know what? It's not sneaking because what happens is they tell you, if it's a casual thing.
right.
Okay, so your mic is still on. You're still being filmed. I mean, you're still being recorded.
You're
And then you
always
just kind of
recorded.
go about your day, but then you get
You
so
don't
used
think
to
about it, yeah.
filming, and you just kind of like start talking, and then you're like, oh shit.
It's so fun. Did you guys, so random side check, did you guys see Katy Perry live streamed all weekend?
I'm so sick of Katy Perry.
Me too,
I
but
can't.
that was a really unique, just in like the world of technology and like just marketing, like that was so unique. But it was interesting to see, she went through, just to see like, to take a pop star and put him in that kind of element, it was like Big Brother, but you could see the moments where she would like come out of like, even remembering that she was even there and having to be on for that many hours was, it was really, and I
would've
found
liked to
myself
seen it.
watching it for a really long time, and I
Yeah.
was like, I've never cared for Katy Perry, ever, and I'm really up here like,
It's
it was
fascinating.
really
It is
interesting.
fascinating to see.
It's, you know, these are all like social experiments, seeing
Oh, yeah.
people under the public eye. But you know, Katy Perry's a little thirsty for my taste right now.
I saw a really good documentary too. I can't remember it right now, but I'll bring it for next week. But it basically goes back to when the internet first came out, and they did a social experiment with people, and they kept them in this underground warehouse for 6 months. Crap, I can't remember what it was called. And basically, it's just like when you keep people in a society like that, it brings the worst out of them. And it's funny because then you watch that documentary and then you watch any reality TV show after, and you're like, oh my God, people knew that this is what would come of it, and they still were like, yeah, fuck that, put it on TV.
Trying to tell you.
I mean, that's still going on, sort of.
What did you guys think when the girls bring up Sharice's room and Sharice said, I spent Eddie's money, and Karen popped in, this was not classy of you, Miss Karen. What happens when he cuts it off? Same thing's gonna happen to me as you and Mr. Bill Gates over there, boo. I'm gonna have to move on out of Potomac.
But you know what, though? Even though it was shade infested, it was a valid question.
No, because
I mean-
it is a check that you will have to realize. You ain't gonna have that forever, girl. Sorry.
And I wouldn't be bragging on TV if I was
I
you.
would never.
Like, you might want to calm that down, girl. Go on Twitter and do some PR.
Hire Robin.
Okay. Well.
She needs a job.
So the girls talk about they go back to Sharice's room. The girls are talking about the beach, and then Karen, little sneaky self, pulls Giselle aside and Monique and tells them about, what is it, the American Cup, and they're gonna go
the
sailing with
Japanese.
Team Japan. I can only bring, Ray pulled strings to do this, and he said I can only conveniently bring 2 people. So I'm just like, on a sail trip, like, you think that's like the appropriate time to like let two people bond?
Yeah,
Which,
of course, people always bond when their lives are in danger.
that's true because you have to.
That's true.
But as far as how Karen went about doing it, I just thought
It was extra.
you
like
knew why you
everything
did that.
else.
Mm-hmm. Terrell Richardson says Karen is renting in pricey neighborhoods because she can't afford to buy in them. Her rental is larger than the house she left. That's not downsizing. Ooh, all right. One
No,
gorgeous
I'm not
Godzilla.
here for Giselle's outfit.
Who? Oh yeah, Giselle was talking about the Urban Dictionary entry chart. She was dressed in those shorts, knee boots, like she was going to the strip club.
Thank you. With that lacy top, gorgeous Godzilla. That was a faux pas, honey.
Ooh.
But only Giselle could pull it off. She looked gorgeous. She always does.
All right, so Charisse brings up her makeup artist, in which then Karen reveals she must have hired someone from the island to do the girl's hair as well.
I know we went in on Miss Karen's hair last.
But the girls went in this week. Ashley was like, I'll take her makeup artist over your no hairline.
Richie, do you think she improved this week, her hair?
No.
No?
Oh my God! It's like the wig got bigger.
Well, no,
Is it,
even
just,
that,
it looks like she has a helmet on under the wig.
yeah, like why would you get a wig that has roots like that?
I've seen wigs with bangs on them, and I've never seen one like that.
No, it looks like it.
That is a monstrosity.
Those bangs look like if you ever took like a straw broom and you just slam it on the ground, and how it like.
It's the worst, and you know what really makes it even worse for me is when I think it's a little when she's in her confessionals and she's in that like burgundy-ish
And the
color,
black
and
all
the hair is
groomed.
kind of like short. It's like, these are two different women.
You know, I still like her bad wigs. Like I know she's
What-
going
why-
for that.
why?
I woke up like this effortless look. Like that's her look.
Clearly, I
That's
mean,
what she's going
yeah,
for. Now where she
Now, don't
lost
say
me.
effortless.
really, because it looked like Joan Crawford at 3 in the afternoon after like
She
4
lost
glasses
me
of
when she
vodka.
revealed that she's paying someone to look like that. Like that's where I get off the bus because you don't need to pay for that, girl.
Not that wig.
She the type that'd be like, honey, you have to make them do it so it looks like it wasn't done, my bitch.
It's the wig. It's the wig.
Success.
Oh my gosh. All right, so we had two situations happening here. So we get to the American Cup. So Karen pulls Giselle and Monique, surprises them. She feels that they never had a one-on-one, which I'm like, yeah, that's all that has tried to happen with these two.
Right.
Karen started it off with, why don't you introduce yourselves? Really? How are we doing this right now? Giselle thinks that Monique's insecure. Monique thinks that Giselle is jealous. Giselle says, without a husband and your husband's bank account, you wouldn't be here.
That was just a low blow to me. Why?
And I wish Monique said to her face, though, well, girl, your ex still pays your bills, but at
Right.
least I'm still with mine, instead of in the confessional. But, I mean, I get it. You couldn't think that quickly. We get on the boat, and, I mean, like you said, like, if you're doing, like, a teamwork thing, you have to kind of come
It
together.
brings people together.
You guys, that looked like it sucked though. I would have rather been on a jet ski.
Same.
Like, why we jumping on a trampoline type of sailboat?
But
to,
like, that's what I'm like. First of all, so the object here is to go from this side of the boat across a rope to that side of the boat and then back.
and that's it.
I'm not here for it. And
I
in
want
fact,
my
I'm
money
mad
back.
at Karen Huger
Right?
for taking me on that.
Strike two, Karen.
Well, that's what Giselle said. You fired. Charisse running this.
A sailboat. I thought it was going to be a yacht.
Yeah, like
Where I could
Something
lay out,
lavish.
you know.
I'm like trying to be cute. You got me in like a wetsuit. Like,
I ain't trying to do all that.
But it worked. Surprise, surprise. Or did it work?
well, we'll have to wait for another episode. But I mean, it seemed. I mean, Giselle gave her.
There was a
positive comment.
hug, right? Did they hug
Well,
each
there was
other?
I don't know if there was a hug, but it was definitely like a grabbing of the
touch.
thigh, and like, you good girl.
A reassurance.
Reassurance, yes.
Pep talk.
There's hope.
Baby
There is
steps.
hope. A light at the
Until
end of
the
the
reunion.
tunnel.
Right. And they see what they've been saying.
Exactly.
Karen's flirting with one of the sailors, talking about, I'm already wet. Now,
Ew.
could have totally been A&R. May not have actually
No.
been said, but here's my biggest issue with everything. So,
Not everything.
with everything, literally, because it's really like the whole episode. Because so this whole trip, Karen's been complaining about how she's grander than everyone. She knows all the rules of etiquette. She doesn't want the ladies acting and fighting the way that they are. So she planned this, trip and then planned this whole sailing thing. But then, at the end of the day, now when Giselle and Monique have finally kind of like are in a chill space, then they bring up to her Charisse, and Karen's like, no, I'll try. You'll try. So what if Giselle and Monique were like, I'll try. It just was the most hypocritical. So then at the end when Robin was like, you sound like a hypocrite, and you're like, hypocrite's a strong word. No, that's the right word, Karen.
She is trying to kick Charisse while she's down, and I don't know why. And I think the other girls are taken aback too. Like, they don't know where this animosity is coming from. So yeah, it is a little hypocritical. How are you gonna separate the group and then work on building bonds? Like, it's kind of weird. Mm-hmm. A little hypocritical.
You talking about girl power? You need to listen to Spice Girl album. The jet ski world, we get Charisse, Ashley, and Robin. Charisse, just once again showing the language on Bravo. This bum bitch planned a fucking excursion on my yacht day. That's the show that said that. Ashley gets a nice little therapy session with Charisse, and Robin admits that she doesn't want a child right now. Like, she's fully, has committed to that now.
It's probably a good idea.
Agreed. Do we think that she really, after that conversation, because I've been kind of, bouncy with, okay, maybe her and Michael got together too quickly. I can't really see them. I know you kind of can still see them. After this, I kind of do believe that she really does, is in love with him as a person. I just think it's so weird to me how quickly people can go to divorce, using the word divorce, and the fact that someone has to say you would choose your restaurant over your husband. She's like, yeah, I wouldn't.
She had to think about it.
That's
she
weird.
Just now asked if they were still in love. She asked that. She
that
wasn't trying to ask where he stood. She was asking to see where she was. Mm-hmm. I don't think that she's in love with him, especially the advice that she gives Robin when it comes to going after dudes that can take care of her. I feel like she had a motive at first. You take how your lifestyle can improve, and then you go after love. What's love got to do with it? In the famous words of Miss Tina Turner.
I had a thought, but you kind of changed my opinion. It's
what? Yeah. But a second-hand emotion. All right, Robin then says, although I loved when Robin was like, or they were like, someone should check Karen, and Ashley said, well, you're good at ambushing people.
That she is.
And Robin just looked with a little that was cute. See, that's called fun shade. That's what shade is about. We understand we had an incident. We're cordial now. I can throw a little shade, and you're going to look at me like, all right, that was a good one. That was a point for you. Now I'll go upstairs. So Robin went upstairs and was over-knocking.
She was mad. She was real
And I'm like,
mad.
why don't you use this aggression on Juan?
Right? She uses this on everyone but Juan.
She had a smug look on her face, and Karen was like, hi. Hey, Karen. Yeah, I'm having a great day. You talk about bond and sisterhood, then bounce on us? Karen felt that if she told everyone, then there would have been too much dysfunction, and she doesn't know how to deal with that. Girl, you deal with it every morning when you comb that wig.
Well, on that note, I would like to read a comment. Gorgeous Godzilla said, I hollered when Karen said she brought her hair person on the trip with her. You mean to tell me her hair has been looking like an ombre bird's nest on purpose?
See, that's where they lost. She lost everybody when she said she was paying for that look.
Right.
Hers was free. Everybody else got to pay.
I can't. All right, so she said that...
And they were styling the wig.
And then it looked like they didn't do anything again, after at dinner.
I'm sorry.
So weren't you just in the chair?
I couldn't even...
Blame the humidity.
Where's
y'all.
Gregory?
Humidity does.
Gregory, come on. Can you do hair too?
Bring out Gregory.
Okay,
Hello.
Gregory.
Hi.
All right, so Karen. So basically, Robin checks Karen. She said feels like a hypocrite, even though Karen doesn't feel like she got checked. Robin leaves production once again. Little tricky mofos was like, "Hey, so we're done filming. See you later."
See, now that to me was
Shady.
I didn't feel good about it.
Why?
Honey, welcome to the world of
I just did
production.
because I felt like at that stage, it really to show that they should have just not showed that to me.
The production leaving.
They should have just
Like, why are they
we
out
could
in
have just
production?
heard it out from the door. We
That's-
didn't need to see that part
I guess
unless they
had
wanted to be honest.
They wanted to explain why they didn't have a visual of it. So that's why they're showing you that they were leaving.
I don't feel like they needed to explain it though, because how many times have we seen a door close and we could still hear?
Because the
audio?
wand thing was the same thing. We didn't see
we
that.
didn't see the.
You saw him
We
leave,
heard
though.
him.
You saw an exit with him leave and go in the other room. So I guess they were trying to like show a proper exit of some sort.
It was just an interesting moment.
I think
for
they
me for
did
a
it because
reality
they
show.
knew that she would go
She would-
say what she wanted to say.
Yeah,
Which
they
means
had
that
to
they
prompt
probably
her.
know that when they leave, the real Karen comes out.
Probably.
And talks to whoever she's talking to. Because
Well-
then she said, Charisse is evil. This smells like a Charisse plan. She feels the world should bow down to her, but anybody could have married Eddie Jordan and done what you've done. And people can say that about me. But I didn't screw the fireman. If she fucks with me, I'll put that pickup so quick you're not gonna fuck with me and expect me not to roll up. Karen Huger's words, not mine.
Karen,
So make a fake account for that.
bring it on out, girl. You know, if that's the real Karen, I love it. Give me ghetto Karen every day.
I'm so here for getting.
Well, didn't this? I mean, I just felt like, not to take it back to episode 1, but it kind of vindicated Giselle with everything that she said at the start of the season.
A little bit.
Must have been some truth to that.
She called Charisse a New Jersey harlot. All right.
went in.
She did. All right.
Karen.
Before we get into predictions, we got to tell y'all about A&E's Born This Way. Have you guys ever seen this show? All right. So last season on the Emmy Award-winning show Born This Way, 7 young adults with Down syndrome blew critics away. Co-creator of Homeland, Alex Ganza, was inspired and said Born This Way got him thinking about responsibility in TV and made him ask, what message should we be putting out in the world? This season, the cast continues to defy expectations and set new standards for the world of television. Born This Way for your Emmy consideration. Watch new episodes Tuesdays at 10 on A&E. I met these kids. They're everything. They're not even kids. They're just everything. They got a rapper. I forget the girl. She just got married last year. Like, they're just the sweetest people ever. So make sure you guys check it out. Born This Way on A&E. Okay. On that note, let's head into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Where are we going with this, y'all? Where are we going? What's gonna happen with Miss Huger? Is Karen gonna be Phaedra now?
She's definitely in the hot seat. Definitely in the hot seat. She got some splaining to do.
She has a lot of splaining to do.
Do you think the girls will hold anything against Giselle and Moniece at all? Or do you think the fact that Giselle and Moniece may be getting along might kind of make everyone be like, okay, it worked, so...
I don't think they're gonna care much about that. I feel like Karen's gonna be in the hot seat over her
I
house.
feel like for the rest of the season, I
situation.
think it's going to be
And
Karen.
The skeleton she's hiding in that closet.
Okay.
In that foreclosed house.
In that foreclosed closet.
Do we think that Karen's gonna go to the dinner?
I don't know. I think that they're gonna carry
think
on.
she's gonna go.
You know, we don't have any ultra divas that just skip out on things for real. Like
Not
they're
yet.
still season 2. Like
Yeah.
relax. Everyone's gonna show up when they're supposed to.
Nobody's going to pull an Adrian Malouf yet.
Right. They don't gotta have money. Monique might, but...
But I'm hoping like Charisse and Karen squash it. Like, how long you think they're gonna carry out this bickering?
Oh, it's
And
going
when
to
are we
last
going to-
forever.
Yeah, because they're
at
like,
this
we need a
point.
plot.
Oh yeah,
We need a plot.
Because-
they've crossed Karen now. So
Karen has now taken a step into the dark side.
dark side.
And she's
Oh,
gonna
she's
have to
real
manipulate this to make it so that she can kind of smoke and mirror it to put her back on that good
You
side.
can't see in this situation. The best thing is, again, own it.
Own it.
If you own it, you come out looking more powerful to me.
Right. You do.
To me, I mean, I'm just saying, like,
No backtracking.
no backtracking. I said it, and what? You know it's out there. You know you got a fireman, girl. We all know.
We all know
Okay,
now.
do we think that that's gonna be exposed on the season?
I sure hope so.
I didn't say
It
that.
has been exposed already.
It really has. Now
The
we
funny
just
thing
need to-
about it is, I feel like it's now the season just got more intriguing to me because this started with that whole situation, and now Karen's and it's like, oh my god,
Like,
you
Karen,
knew
what
all this
picture do
time?
you have?
No, the thing about it is, everybody knew
Right.
except us. So all y'all been, who else been sitting on this information?
Who
That's
was
what
this
I want to
fireman?
know. Andy, please
Hilton.
ask him this.
Somebody needs to be digging. Like,
And who is the
find this
fireman?
fireman. Like, come forward.
He better be sexy.
Come on our show.
He better be sexy.
Ooh, can you do? I've never been on like. Can you do fire stations like have websites like with like pictures and bios? Like, can I
Hotfireman.com.
Google it? Can I Google this? Someone out there know some tea? I know somebody
Somebody
doing
knows.
something out there.
I don't understand. Is it such a bad thing if she did have a fireman on the side? Like, not on the side, but maybe, you know, they are separated.
No, absolutely not. But
What's the
yes,
big deal?
for her story.
Something went real south in that relationship, though, for him not to call or talk to her for a year. So, I mean, was it the fireman that?
No, I don't think it was Sharice's
I
fault.
feel like
I
the
think
fireman came in after.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Eddie has been, like, if I'm going to allege right now, I would assume that Eddie has been cheating on Sharice for
For a long
years.
time.
She was fine with it or, like, hiding it, not accepting it.
Right.
And then it got to a point where it was emotionally affecting her. Now they're not even, like, living in the same house together. And then, you know, your friends be like, girl, like, just who cares? Just go on a date, go on a
Get
date, go
you
on a
some,
date.
girl.
You know what I mean? And she probably did, got her life, her little shay came out.
With the fireman.
With the
What's
fireman,
wrong with
he lit her up.
Okay, but the problem is when you try to deny it, that's
Yeah.
when you look
Yeah,
crazy.
that's
Because
true.
now when you come out, it's like, okay, girl, well,
You should have just said,
what was you crying all them tears for? You was getting
boom.
knocked
Exactly.
out.
Come on now.
Right. Now we can't believe a word you say.
Because you should have been crying before the fireman. Because once the fireman comes and puts that fire out, girl, then you ain't got nothing to cry about.
Smashbox.
20. On that note, we want to thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit us up at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Tiffany, where can everyone follow you?
Find me on Instagram at Roving Realist.
And you guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at DJ Richie Skye.
I cannot with what y'all are saying in the chat room. Make sure you guys join us live every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Coast time. You guys can get in the chat room with us. We're always talking Potomac, and we love when you guys are vibing with us. If you can't, leave us a comment down below. But if you guys love me and you really care and you love all of us here in the panel, please go to iTunes, hit that rating 5 stars, because the other ones don't work, and leave us a little comment. And if you leave us a comment, we'll read it. We'll say it here on the show. We'll give you a little shout out, okay? Hit me up at DJ Jesse J. Till next week. Peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.